Hi, it's Kathy, and I'm sorry that I'm at a bit of a strange angle here. So yesterday was the last day of my spinning day, true spinning day for the Tour de Femme. Today I'm supposed to be kind of finishing off. I'm sorry, I probably look a bit of a mess. I have been out for a walk this morning. I've been in the garden, and then I've come inside to finish off that last bit of that bobbin that I was looking at yesterday. So I do apologise for how I look. But sometimes you start something and once you're committed, you've got to keep going. And I'll just show you what I've been doing. I thought that the great idea, I would just spin up the rest of that bobbin. Now, let me just show you. I have committed to, this is, oh my gosh. So this is an Andean braid. Bracelet. So I was winding the bobbin off and I did not, well, I don't know. Why did I not stop to think that there was so much yarn on there? Oh my gosh, it is just, but once you start, you're kind of committed, aren't you? So I don't even know how I'm going to get my finger out of this now. I feel like maybe I'm just going to have to take my whole hand out and then put my hand back in. It's actually not particularly easy to get off. There we go. Okay, so we've got this off. I better not lose the middle. Just put my hand back in there for the bracelet so that I can, oh, I know. Why do we do these things? There we go. That is a massive bracelet. I have never plied back from such a large bracelet before. Let's hope it all goes okay. I've got my e-spinner here. Maybe I can try and turn you around a little bit. Hold on. Can I even turn you around so you can see? Oh, I might need to just adjust your height a little bit. Hold on. Just like take you down a little bit. Are you going to see anything here? Maybe here. I'll see if I can get this started, and then I'm not going to bore you with all of the spinning or the plying of this. I just better put a bit more twist in the end of this yarn, and I'll see how we go. I've got to just add my extra bit in there. Okay, let's just start. That's one good thing about the e-spinner. At least I can just concentrate on my spinning at the moment while I try and work out how to undo my bracelet. Oh, there we go. It is kind of working. It may be a little bit tight. This is going to be, I think, a bit of a slow spin. Oh gosh, look, I'm just, it's going to work okay. I think I'm just going to have to do it very slowly. And I will be back to you in a little bit, hopefully once I've finished plying up my big huge bracelet. I'm sure it'll be okay once I get down a little bit, once I've plied a bit more and it's not quite so bulky. It's going to be heaps easier, I say. One hopes. Look, there we go. That's doing it. That's plying okay. I just have to be a bit gentle with it. But actually, I quite like the colours. I wouldn't mind a bracelet actually in those kind of colours. Very nice, very pretty. So, yes, I was going to do a little roundup today, and I will. I'm sure I will get this plied up and finished this. I shouldn't say in no time, but in a little bit of time. And then I'll come back on and I'll show you my finished skeins that I have done for the Tour de Femme. There isn't that many of them, but you can have a little look at what I've got up to, and hopefully I don't look too bad considering that I've been out in the garden, and it is Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, so yeah. I just look like a Sunday afternoon type of person, maybe. Maybe that's just, I'll just have to go with it. But, yeah, I think I have to concentrate. I'm going to stop this because I need to concentrate a little bit more as I go than I normally would. I don't know if you can see here. So here's a bit of the plying up. Anyway, I'm quite happy with this, but I do need to concentrate. I might just have a little drink of my coffee and then I will continue with my plying, and I'll get back to you when I've finished. Well, I've started winding this all off onto, or scanning this onto my niddy noddy, and I have been standing up. I've just decided to sit down and save my back a little bit while I continue winding this onto my niddy noddy. So I thought it was a good excuse for me to do a little video, show you what I've been doing. And this is the only, I shouldn't say the only drawback, but you know, sometimes when you have such a big bobbin, it does seem to go on forever when you're having to skein it up. And I feel like that with this one. I do feel like this has turned into a bit of a mammoth winding up of my bobbin here on the e-spinner. For those of you who don't know, I've got a Hanson e-spinner, which is absolutely great and has such big bobbins on it that I can fit, well, basically two bobbins of for my major craft of singles applied together on one of these bobbins really nice and easily. So it is so nice to be able to have a nice big skein, and compared to, you know, there are some some bobbins that only hold small amounts, and when it comes around to knitting or crocheting, it is so nice to have a really long skein. I mean, 100 grams is great, 200 grams is even better if you're knitting a big project. It's a bit like having a lot of yarn on a cone, I guess, because you just don't have to worry about joining yarns. And for those of you who've been watching my other crafting videos, you will also know that there are times when I've had to join so many ends together that I started having a bit of a practice in trying different types of joins for my yarn to try and decide which one I thought was working best. I still haven't come up with a conclusion of the easiest or best join for yarns. If you have a favourite join when you're knitting or crocheting, if you've got a favourite join with your yarns, leave a little comment down below, because I'd love to hear what you use. I've tried the Russian join. I have tried the split splice. Is that what it's called? You know, when you unwind your plies and then you cut one off and then you join them together. Try to felt them a little bit and kind of reply them. I probably didn't describe that very well, but you know, what other? Well, I don't knot, I must admit. I do not knot. Sometimes I have just, I've even tried some where you knit one from the old yarn, one from the new yarn, one from the old yarn, one from the new yarn. That seems to work okay, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Russian join is great if you are changing colours and you need an abrupt colour change. I don't know. It's a little bit like, I prefer to do a top-down jumper, all in one yoke kind of style jumper, because there's no seaming and it's absolutely wonderful. You don't have to worry about joining up all those seams at the end. I just don't like joining yarn. I know it has to be done, and I know a lot of people would say you just join it at the end of the row or start of the row, which is fine, except for, you know, if you're doing it in the round and there is no end or start of a row, you can't really hide it in the seam like you used to be able to. If you're knitting a piece jumper, you used to be able to just do your join at the edge, like your seam edge, and then hide it in your seam. But yeah, we get there in the end, don't we? We all have our favourite ways of doing things, and I always like to hear about what other people like to do, what's their favourite technique or favourite thing they like doing when it comes to the different crafts that we do. I mean, really, I suppose there's no right or wrong, is there? It's just what we feel comfortable doing and what works for our project that we're working on at the time. And now I'm just wittering, aren't I? I'm just wittering on. I am getting towards the end. If you can see, I am getting there. I am. Every time you think you're nearly to the end, there seems to be more and more kind of going on. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my day. So I went for a lovely little walk this morning, and then when I came home, I went outside, did a little bit of gardening, a bit of weeding, and also saw a lot of evidence that our local echidna has been around in the garden, having a wonderful time looking for ants. I didn't see the echidna, but I did see lots of little holes where the echidna has been around looking for ants. And yeah, I'm so happy. I'm always really happy when the echidna is back and around. I always worry something might have happened to it because it does wander around through quite a few different properties here. And, you know, there are lots of dogs around, lots of cars around, and I always worry that it might get injured. But obviously it hasn't. It's obviously out there somewhere, having a wonderful little trundle and a little eat of ants. But I've come to the end. Ta-da! And here we are. I just need to probably I'll have to untie this. I don't know if I can do this while I'm talking to you. I'll probably have to take my glasses off because I'm at that age where glasses on, glasses off kind of thing. This didn't happen as quickly as I thought it was going to. It might be a bit boring for you to watch me try and undo a knot. Just bear with me for a minute because I wanted to show you. I'd like to show you the skein while it's still on the niddy noddy. And oh, look, we're nearly there. But say everything seems to take longer than you think it does, doesn't it? Kind of just wondering what I'm going to do now that it's the end. Well, I shouldn't say I'm not really wondering. I have lots and lots of things on my list, but now that the Tour de Fleece and Tour de Femme is finished, I feel like I'm going to have a little bit more time on my hands. So I'll have to start working on some of those other projects that I have put to the side while I've been doing all the spinning. I know I've got some cross stitch that I need to get going on, and a bit of sewing. Don't have any knitting going at the moment. I will do a video soon about what I have finished knitting recently. Oh my gosh, this must be so boring for you to watch. There we go. It is the end. Sorry for that. Bit boring. Okay, so here we are. Let me just see if I can show you. Ta-da! In the light. I am going to, well, what I'll do is I will just take this off this. I will go and turn the light on so I can show you my skeins that I have done for the Tour de Fleece. And that will be it for the day. Okay. Hi. Well, now it is now the afternoon. I don't know why I said hi again. We've just been chatting to you. So I have got my meagre skeins. I hope I look okay. I kind of like, since I said, like I said, I have been in the garden and stuff. But anyway, so the 1 week of Tour de Femme, I don't know if I feel like I've spun a lot or not a lot. I kind of feel like it's not very much, but then again, I think I'm just comparing it to how much I spun for the Tour de Fleece. But so here was my first skein. This was the one that I did. I'm just trying to think what it was that I did it with. Oh, look, so long ago, I don't even remember. But this was my multicoloured skein here. And I applied that with kind of a light brown and white. And so that's quite nice. I haven't measured any of these at all. This is the pink that I was talking about putting with my shawl. It is not, I don't know what I'm thinking. I mean, it's not neon as in like the other pink that I have done for my shawl. So I could still put this in with my shawl, or I could just use it as a highlight for something else. I really like this colour. It's really, really nice. I don't actually have the colour here, but yeah, I really like that one. I think that, oh, it might be raspberry. Maybe it's raspberry. And then here we are. Here is my big bump of multicoloured that I have just finished. And so I spun this on my Major Craft and then applied it on my Hanson e-spinner. So I'm going to come up and show you close up. I haven't set this, so I haven't washed it, haven't done anything. I've literally just taken it off the e-spinner. So it will look a little bit different once it is washed and set. But look at that. It's quite a nice big skein. Really, really nice. I'm quite happy. I'm very happy with what I've got here, what I've achieved here. And 3 incredibly different skeins. And I'm, you know, for those who've been around for a while, you know, I'm not really a brown. I'm not that crazy about brown, but I actually really like this. I think it's because it's got brown and lots of other colours in it as well. So yeah, really, really like this. Really kind of have to find something really nice and interesting to do with this, because I do like it a lot. Like I said, not quite sure what I'll do with that one. Probably go into the shawl for that one. And this one, oh, I don't know, screams jumper to me. If I can find some other blue, and I'm sure I've got some other blue, that would make just a really, really nice top of the jumper, yoke bit of the jumper. Then I could just do my sleeves and the bottom of the jumper in plain blue. But yeah, I really, really like that. Yeah, so that's it. There are my 3 skeins from the Tour de Femme. Everything's gone well. And next video I will be chatting more about crafting, less, well, I won't be probably talking anything about hand spun at all. It'll just be about crafting. And maybe my next video might actually even be what I got up to yesterday as well. So there we go. I'll talk to you all later.